everyone, my name is Gregory Scott and this is a report on the supermoon that's happening on the 9th of September 2014. It's the third one of these that's happening this year, and I'm not going to go too much into the astronomy of this time. I'm just going to give you kind of some information on what it means for you astrologically. Okay, so the first thing is that it's a full moon, and full moons are always a period of heightened sensitivity. Because it's a supermoon, it means that the moon is nearer to the Earth, and that means the influence it has on us is heightened. It's also brighter, so the kind of vibrations that it sends and the light it sends to the planet is a lot stronger. So you're going to feel this influence, and that's really what this means. In terms of the supermoon aspect of it, because it's the last time of the summer, it's the last really kind of light night of summer. So this is really the closing of that period. It's about harvesting, it's about bringing things together, and it's about kind of celebrating the summer that's been and moving more into that phase of the year that if you're in the northern hemisphere, that's darker and that's much more inward looking, and that's far less kind of expansive and looking outward. Okay, but this supermoon in particular is going to be in Pisces, and it's conjunct with Chiron, and obviously it opposes the sun, which is in Virgo on the 9th of September. It's in the 4th and 10th house, so that immediately kind of gives me an idea of what this is going to be about. You're going to feel much more sensitive to family issues. You're going to really feel things very strongly, and you're going to have a desire to connect with family members and have everyone get along. Okay, now I don't need to kind of tell you here that that doesn't always work out, and you're kind of setting yourself up for a disaster a little bit. I mean, if you're, part of the Waltons, then that's a possibility, but if you live in the real world, if you want everyone to be happy and everyone to get along all the time, you're kind of setting yourself up to have some hurt feelings. Chiron is the wounded healer, and I really like the story of Chiron in Greek mythology. He was a centaur, obviously, but he was a doctor. He healed other people, he taught people medicine, and he was really the kind of entity responsible for healing in general, all kinds of healing. And what happened was that another character, Prometheus, he got a little bit, he didn't kind of stay in his position, and he decided to steal fire and give it to the humans. And Zeus, the head of the gods, he didn't really like that very much. So what he did is he chained him to a rock, and he got an eagle to peck out his liver every day. And he did that for eternity, and it happened every day. So this guy basically was in complete agony every day of his life. And Chiron was wounded by Hercules, and because he was immortal, he was in a similar situation. He was in pain, but he couldn't die. So what he did was he gave up his immortality to save Prometheus and to get him off the rock and to get him out of the pain, basically. So it's not just about wounds and healing them. It's about really self-sacrifice and giving of yourself to make a situation better. And this full moon in Pisces integrates that kind of self-sacrificing energy. So you do want everyone to get along, you do want family relationships to be much better, but what you can do is you can take the things that have hurt you in the past, fallouts, arguments, all of that stuff, and you can transform them and work through them. So it doesn't mean that everyone's going to be happy, but it means that you can address some of the issues that haven't been addressed yet, and you can actually make some progress there. You're going to be really sensitive to other people's needs and other people's emotions, and that's good if you're trying to have a dialogue. There's no point in trying to get on with people and then not listening or just giving your version of events, because that doesn't mean there's a two-way kind of dialogue. And this full moon is a great period to have a full moon dialogue. The sun is in Virgo in the 10th house during all of this, and that means there's a real focus on work, discerning what's right, what's wrong, getting things done and being productive about it. So September anyway is about discernment and really making good decisions. So you can sit down with family members and you can say, you know, that was a situation that I'd really like to close off. What is it that we need to resolve here? What do we need to finish up? What can we do to make this happen? Do we need to talk more? Do we need to resolve that one of us goes into counseling? Do I need to go to a 12-step program? Something like that, but really to make productive inroads into resolving some of your family issues. It's the last supermoon of the year. It means it's the final kind of opportunity to work through these things and then to prepare for the winter, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere again. And what you do around this time really sets up the relationships the way they're going to be in future. So if you resent one of your parents or one of your children, and you decide to leave that as it is, you're setting the tone for the future couple of months. If you're not ready to face some issues or to talk to certain people, then fine, honor that. But just know that this is kind of setting the tone for the foreseeable future in terms of the next couple of months, half a year. What's going on around those two planets, or going around the Moon and Chiron and the Sun, is also interesting because they're not directly conjunct, but that doesn't mean I ignore them, and it doesn't mean that there isn't any influence at all. The Sun is very near Venus and the midheaven, also both in Virgo. And it means that not only are you going to want to work to achieve things, but you're going to do that with love, and you're going to do that with a positive outcome in mind. So what you're trying to achieve right now is positive. You can trust that. It's harmonious. It has a sophisticated, it has a good outcome at the end of it. So you can really trust that. And in terms of the other side, where the Moon and Chiron is, Neptune is around there. And Neptune is really the dream and the fantasy and what things could be like. And that sounds quite fluffy and nebulous, you know. You have an idea of what family life could be, and that's what I said at the beginning of this, that your feelings could be hurt. You have a dream that everyone gets along. That's the downside of that, but on the plus side, you have a dream of the way family relationships could be. If you do the work, what they could look like on the other side. And if you're super short-sighted, then you wouldn't have a dream of that things could be better. So that kind of dream and fantasy is a good thing, because it means that you're willing to move forward, you're willing to put the effort in to get to the other side. And that then is balanced by all of that Virgo energy, that concrete, grounded, practical kind of thing. So this is really a time of making inroads into your family relationship. Plural, relationships. So use that opportunity. You will be quite sensitive around this time, but you do have that undercurrent of earthly structure and foundation coming via the earth sign of Virgo. So this is great. You're not going to get lost. You're not going to have a meltdown. You know, you will be able to feel things, but then move forward with them. So that's really what I see for this supermoon. In terms of friendships and all of those things, there's good communication going on there, but really what I see is if you're planning something, or if you want to get together with people around this time, the types of people you should get together with is family. Have a wonderful time. If you'd like a private reading with me, please have a look at my website. It's gregoryscott.co.uk, or find me on Facebook, facebook.com/GregoryScott444. And you can also send me an email if you've got any questions. The address is readings@gregoryscott.co.uk. All the best, and I'll speak to you soon.